inokuya pa market mwe bantu ndefuwa ko fertilizer ya 750 yo kali ba fertilizer ya 750 njibe vice president jebala ndirebenga bepati yo kanshinyabo kashite ku parliament
malaiti na lelo kulibe fertilizer farmasa kwanisa bati uzati kwenyu sembe tenze tina zibati. This is what you meant. Kaleza sembe siti na vote. Talema na boaba, talema na boza. Basi eni baende tuone kovina. Wenye wapaka sweet kaisha. Tifuna mariza utinoti mastori. Apa mvula ya kwa manje mulimi sana fole. Fertilizer yodulatiza gula bonji. Apati enda kuma elections. Muzani pasa exuze bwanji. Ndabachi onekani napanga mistake. Talema na boaba, talema na boza. Basi eni baende tione kovina. Wenye wapaka sweet kaisha. Tifuna mariza usinoti mastori.
inokuya pa market mwe bantu ndefuwa ko fertilizer ya 750 yo kali ba fertilizer ya 750 njibe vice president jebala ndirebenga bepati yo kanshinyabo kashite ku parliament
malaiti na lelo kulibe fertilizer farmasa kwanisa bati uzati kwenyu sembe tenze tina zibati. This is what you meant. Kaleza sembe siti na vote. Talema na boaba, talema na boza. Basi eni baende tuone kovina. Wenye wapaka sweet kaisha. Tifuna mariza utinoti mastori. Apa mvula ya kwa manje mulimi sana fole. Fertilizer yodulatiza gula bonji. Apati enda kuma elections. Muzani pasa exuze bwanji. Ndabachi onekani napanga mistake. Talema na boaba, talema na boza. Basi eni baende tuone kovina. Wenye wapaka sweet kaisha. Tifuna mariza usinoti mastori.
inokuya pa market mwe bantu ndefuwa ko fertilizer ya 750 yo kali ba fertilizer ya 750 njibe vice president jebala ndirebenga bepati yo kanshinyabo kashite ku parliament
malaiti na lelo kulibe fertilizer farmasa kwanisa bati uzati kwenyu sembe tenze tina zibati. This is what you meant. Kaleza sembe siti na vote. Talema na boaba, talema na boza. Basi eni baende tuone kovina. Wenye wapaka sweet kaisha. Tifuna mariza utinoti mastori. Apa mvula ya kwa manje mulimi sana fole. zayo tulatiza gula bonji apati enda kuma elections muzani pasa exuze bwanji ndabachi onekani napanga mistake talemana boba talemana boza basi eni maende tione kovina wenye wapaka switoka isha tifuna mariza usinoti mastori.
inokuya pa market mwe bantu ndefu wako fe 13 750 ayo kwali bafetiraiza ya 750 njibe vice president barandire binga bepati ayo kanshinyabo kashite ku parliament
malaiti na lelo kulibe fertilizer famasa kwanisa. But
I'm so sorry. There was no volume the entire 3-4 minutes I spoke. I apologize. I didn't realize that I didn't activate my volume. I apologize. But I can see we are back. We are back. I don't know technical issues, but we are now back. I'm so sorry. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. I know people are calling me to tell me that there's no volume. Bamwewa. Oh, yabuela sound. Yeah, yabuela. Yes, indeed. Yes, let me start again. Thank you very much. Please share the broadcast. Please share the broadcast. I lost sound. I had no sound. A lot of people are calling. Just confirm if sound is back so that we can proceed with the broadcast. Just go. I have Dr. Weupe with me who's going to help me with the discussion. But just confirm if sound is back in the broadcast. Share. Confirm if the sound is back. I'm so sorry that for 4 minutes I had no sound and I didn't realize. So confirm that we have sound, that I can begin afresh. Confirm that we have sound. Everyone is calling me about the sound. I'm so sorry. Is the sound back? Is the sound back? So that we can proceed with the broadcast. Is the sound back? Is the sound back? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I think we have sound now. Greetings to you. Now we are loud and clear. I have to start afresh because I didn't realize that I was broadcasting without sound until my phone began to buzz. So then I realized there's something wrong, something not correct. Let me start afresh. Good day to all of you. Share this broadcast. Today I've got a member of the clergy, Dr. Paul Weupe from Undola, who I'm hosting, is going to help me discuss the two key issues that we are tackling today. The Oasis Forum quest for a constitution that is consultative, that is driven by the people, that is invested in by the people, and President Hakainde Hichilema's obstinance to proceed with this Bill 7 with or without opposition. We'll be discussing that matter. But I began opening the discussions with the issue of Chawama. The issue of Chawama. And I began to state that let's go to the circumstances under which a president or which is a seat can be declared vacant. And these provisions are embedded and provided for in Article 70 and Article 71 of the Republican Constitution. What does the Constitution say? So number one, resignation. If a member decides to resign, that seat becomes vacant. If the member of the political party, if a member is expelled from the political party that sponsored him to parliament, that seat becomes vacant. We've seen intransigence by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Kashumba Muti. She has refused, for example, to follow the directives of the PF, which expelled Robert Chavinga. Mao Sampa expelled Robert Chavinga. The Speaker refused, and she has remained installing that Robert Chavinga, who's been expelled by two factions of the PF as leader of the opposition. And for President Hakainde Hichilema, he has even proceeded to recognize Robert Chavinga as a legitimate office holder of the PF, despite the expulsion. This is a clear indication of how they abrogate the constitution when it is needed. Code of conduct. There's an electoral code of conduct where a minister can be petitioned and the Chief Justice can put up a tribunal. And when such tribunal finds such a minister or MP wanting, that seat can become valid through the code of conduct established by the, we have a law on code of conduct where you can petition an MP for misconduct or a minister. And there have been various cases, including that of Doris Leah and others, where active civil society used this provision to ensure that such a minister was fired, a tribunal was constituted, and they lost their seat. Other circumstances under which a seat becomes vacant is death. When an MP dies, the seat becomes vacant. When parliament is dissolved, other than the speaker and the deputy, their seats become vacant. The speaker and deputy stays on to come and swear in the new parliament. So the two stay on only for that purpose. As you can see, in the Constitution, Article 70 and 71, there is no room to declare a seat vacant because an MP is absent in Parliament. There's none. However, Parliament has provided under its own law, it has provided under the Privileges and Absences Committee. This committee only hears matters relating to privileges of an MP or absences of an MP. And in here, when an MP is absent for 7 days, they are treated as first offender. When they are missing for 14 days, they are treated as second offender. And for 30 days, they are treated as third offender. The punishment in all this is never to declare the seat vacant. There are punishments under the standing orders rules on Committee on Privileges and Absences, where the committee hears and determines that the member of parliament has been absent for so many days. And the punishment, suspension for 7 days, suspension for 14 days, suspension for 21 days, suspension for 30 days. If a member keeps on offending these provisions, again, the punishment is just 30 days. You can repeat it as often as possible. You can never expel a member under both the provision of the Constitution and the provision of Parliament's own rules under, the Standing Orders Committee and the Standing Committee on Privileges and Absences. The law and the standing orders have provided for what happens to an MP that absents themselves for 4 days, 7 days, 21 days, 30 days. The punishment is thereof. The declaration of Petauke Central Member of Parliament, JJ Banda's seat, was illegal. So is a seat for Tasila Lungu. That also is illegal. Because in the Constitution, absence, even if you're an absentee MP, is not provided for that such an MP should have their seats nullified. In the Constitution, look at Article 70 and 71, it's not provided for anywhere. And in Article, in the rules, standing orders rules that guides the National Assembly, there is no room for expulsion under the standing orders, under Privileges and Absences Committee. And in the case of Tasila Lungu, the committee proposed to the president, to the National Assembly, to the Speaker, that the member of parliament involved, who is Honorable Tasila Lungu Mwansa, was willing to attend through video conferencing facilities and contribute. Remember, during COVID, no one could visit constituencies, no one could go to parliament, you couldn't gather. So the National Assembly has set up state-of-the-art remote contribution and remote participation. So an MP, they are given tablets, they can participate in that election. In that sitting of the National Assembly from wherever they are in the world. That facility is available. You just do a link, the clerk creates a link, and the MPs participate. They can contribute, they can participate, they can sit in any of the committees without their work suffering. So the Standing Committee on Privileges and Absences recommended to the Speaker that the member was willing to participate through video conferencing. But you saw the Speaker proceeded to declare the seat illegal. Vacant. Now, this decision is illegal, like they did on JJ Banda and like they've done on Tasila Lungu Mwansa. The Constitution has provided, let me read them again, under which the seat can become vacant. By resignation, when a political party expels you, when you defect to another political party, whether you are independent, you join a political party, or whether you are a member of a political party and join another, when you breach the code of conduct, remember ministers can be removed through a tribunal set up by the Chief Justice, or an MP can be removed through this tribunal set up by the Chief Justice. So through a code of conduct, if it makes so recommendations. Citizenship, if you change your citizenship, you become another national, you lose that seat. If the Constitutional Court, for example, through an electoral dispute, declares your seat that you were not validly elected in accordance with Article 70, again, you are disqualified. You are removed from parliament. If you are imprisoned for more than 6 months, in fact, the Constitution is very clear. It says, the seat falls vacant once a member begins serving a prison sentence for an offense. Remember why they couldn't grant bail pending appeal to Munia Zulu, to Nixon Chilangwa, to Honorable Chitotela, to Kafumbe, the Kawambwa council chairperson. The reason is they wanted to use this excuse that the seat falls vacant once a member begins serving a prison sentence for an offense. So if the members of parliament who've been jailed, who are eligible for bail pending appeal, if their bail applications succeed, they can't have their seats nullified. So President Hakainde Hichilema ensured that no bail was given to these MPs, so that this position kicks in, which said when an MP is imprisoned and begins to serve prison sentence, because when you get bail, you haven't begun to serve sentence. So they ensured that you were in prison serving sentence to allow the speaker to declare that seat become vacant. Then for nominated MPs, loss of nomination. When the president revokes your nomination, because you were nominated, the president is allowed to nominate up to 8 people. In the new constitution, he's going to be allowed to nominate up to 42 people. But in this, he can only nominate 8 people. So you can lose that. Then, of course, by death, if an MP dies, and then when parliament dissolves, other than the speaker and the deputy who remain to come and swear in, the new speaker, new MPs, new people that will come after an election, everyone loses their seat at a dissolution of parliament. Those are the circumstances constitutionally. Absenteeism and absence is not one of them. I need to emphasize, absenteeism or absent, for whatever reason, is not one of the reasons you can lose a seat. Either in the parliamentary code of conduct, in the standing orders that have been provided for underprivileges and absences, in the Constitution, in the Electoral Act, in the Electoral Process Act, it's not provided for that you can lose a seat by being absent. So we need to emphasize that President Hakainde Hichilema and his Speaker of the National Assembly have broken the law repeatedly. They have abrogated the Constitution by declaring Petauke's seat as vacant and now Chawama based on this. Let me bring my guest. My guest has been waiting in the studio for some time. I want him to speak especially to the issues relating to the moral issues, because Tasila is an orphan in this case, and she's with the widow. We've lost the late president. The reason she's absent from Zambia is that the late president remains unburied. His mortal remains remain in South Africa. This is a matter we have discussed. I don't know how they expect her to leave that place and come and attend to parliamentary business. She's not there for anything else. She was in the US last year because she was on maternity leave, And when the child was born, there were complications that needed specialized care. Even then, they nearly nullified her seat for being absent on maternal leave. In this case, they now have a perfect excuse to nullify her seat. Bishop, this is your area of morality. This is your area of the Bible, and I thought I could bring you. Just greet my audience and begin to give your views.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. It's always a pleasure to show up on your show once given an opportunity. I want to thank you very much for this platform that affords us an opportunity to speak to the people all around the world without any biasness, just following the facts. Like you have rightly put it, indeed, is it justifiable to, kick out, if you like, this orphan at a time like this? We have to appeal now to the moral aspect. The legal side does not have compassion. The legal side may not have, the feelings, but it is the humans, the people themselves, who do actually have the feelings, the compassion. They have the moral compass within them. You know what happens when the moral compass becomes desensitized? It becomes desensitized. People do things that are unthinkable, that are contrary to who we are, that are contrary to the values we believe in. It is shocking when I heard, they put it to vote just by saying hi, and the seat is gone, without putting into account the circumstances that surround this particular situation. When something goes wrong with our moral compass, we do things that are really, really wrong. I've seen for quite some time that wrong decisions have been made, especially pertaining to this issue of ECL. Up to now, as I'm speaking, he's still sleeping somewhere we don't even know. And the family does not even know how long it will take to mourn and to bury their dead. Now, I want to speak to this situation. The fact that we have decided to move on justifies the fact that the family, we must leave them alone because they cannot walk away from it. You can move away, and by vote, you just say hi, and you're moving on. That tells you that we must leave this family alone to bury their dead. So you can see how unfair the government has been. It is inconsiderate. It is showing that they are not empathetic. They are not even considerate of that they are responsible for failure to bury the dead. How can you even eat your food and go to sleep and have dreams when your brother is in the mortuary for months, a thing that has never happened anywhere? Now, let me quote one of the president's, wisdom is everywhere to instruct us on what we must do. Let me quote Abraham Lincoln's second speech when he said, "With malice towards none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, for his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations. with malice towards none, or with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, for his widow and his orphan. Now, this wisdom is there for any president, for any wise person, any leader, to learn from them. Not petty issues, talking about who hates you. Well, if you choose to lead, people will say anything about you, but that's not the main thing. What are you going to leave behind? How you handle widows and orphans. It is not one widow you are dealing with or one orphan. It's the whole nation. We are leaving a precedence for everybody. How dare you take away even the little position that was earned by this young lady? Now, Dr. Lungu, the former president, was alive. Can he be honored by this action? That's where wisdom must come in. Ask yourselves. Don't be, we are machines. We are human beings who are supposed to have feelings, and we should have wisdom. Wisdom helps us to navigate our way into situations like this. Now, it is disturbing to see that Zambia, a Christian nation, can be doing things like this. Why? Because our conscience has been desensitized. Why? Because of maybe sins that we are involved in, our conscience dies. We have no feelings. This is what we are seeing now. How do you grab a seat from a young lady who earned it through her hard effort? So, and you have the father still lying somewhere in the morgue, and you are the government who took them to court. The president has the power. There's prerogative of mercy even in the courts of law. The president has tremendous power. He can overrule everything just for the sake of the good name of the nation. Now, this blot on Zambia now, that's who we are now. We are not what we used to be, compassionate, hospitable, loving, caring people. Now we are becoming hostile to one another. But look at what Abraham Lincoln said, with malice towards none. It is malice. With malice towards none, regardless of political affiliation, with the charity for all, with the love for everybody, regardless of political, tribe, or wherever you come from, with charity for all, with firmness in the right, as God gives us the right to see the light. Let us strive on to finish the work we are in. Let's focus on the work we are in. Let's focus on the work we have put you in that office. Let's finish it. Let's also remember there are those that have died, like he says, to care for him who shall have borne the battle. This person has died. He should have, succeeded in the battle, but he's dead. He has left an orphan. It is the responsibility of us who have remained to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphans, to seek and to cherish a just and lasting peace. Peace must be protected. Peace. The Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers. Peace must be made by the decisions we make, the actions we take as a nation. You just cannot be doing things on your own, the way you want it. No, we have principles for living. We have values we believe in as a people. So it is horrible to see what is going on. It's not a game. When we put you in parliament, do the right thing. Do the right thing with malice towards none, with charity for all.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. There is that verse, Bishop, when you were here, you last read it on what happens to those that disregard the widow and orphans. I'll bring you to come and find that verse. I'll bring you to come and read it. I think it's very important. It appears that the president is not only abrogating the constitution, but is also abrogating, not the moral code, the African nature of who we are as Abantu, Ubuntu, and is also breaching biblical principles, which talks about compassionate in dealing with the widows. The Bible is even more instructive of what happens to those that disregard that mistreat the widows and orphans. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hosting Dr. Paul Weupe, clergy from Ndola. He's been on this platform before, renowned advocate, especially for orphans and widows. He was a champion, especially, in those days against HIV and AIDS. He conducted a lot of awareness, his church kept orphans and supported widows, is very renowned in that area. And on this matter, regarding the declaration of the seat as vacant, I thought I could bring him in. Let me again emphasize that the Constitution is very clear. Absenting yourself from Parliament is not one of the reasons you can lose a seat. It is very clear. Then the Parliament has standing orders. Again, when you're absent continuously from Parliament, losing your seat is not one of them. It's not listed. If people want someone who's absent from Parliament to lose their seat, provide for it in the law. Currently, it's not provided for in the Constitution. It's not provided for under parliamentary or on standing orders. Even the latest one, 2024, I had to call senior MPs who could send me that, and they quickly sent me even the standing orders for 2024. The latest do not provide for an MP to lose their seat because they've missed sessions or sittings in Parliament. The Constitution has provided for circumstances under which you can lose a seat. Number one, if you resign. Number two, if a political party expels you. In this case, we have Robert Chabinga, who we expelled. When we even had the valid papers, valid reasons, Chabinga was expelled. The Speaker never accepted the decision for us to expel Chabinga. But the Constitution says when such a person is expelled by the political party, unless a court stays that decision, you lose your seat. If you defect as an independent or a member of a political party, you defect to another political party, you lose that seat. That's what the Constitution says. Code of conduct, I talked about the code of conduct. We have provisions under which you can petition an MP or minister who's misconducting themselves. If they're found liable by a tribunal appointed or headed by the Chief Justice, you lose that seat. You also can lose a seat when you change citizenship or you lose your citizenship, the Zambian citizenship. If you are disqualified, for example, by the Constitutional Court, if there's been an election petition and the court says you are not validly elected, you lose that seat. Imprisonment, if you begin to serve a prison sentence, you lose that seat. If the president and you are nominated, he can nominate up to 8. He's going to nominate now up to 42. Remember, he's going to nominate 12 youths if that new constitution passes. He's going to nominate 20 women, that's 32. Then they want to increase the number from 8 to 10 of nominated MPs. So he's going to nominate 42. Loss of nomination, you lose that seat if the president revokes it. If a member dies, the seat becomes vacant. If Parliament dissolves, all seats become vacant except for the Speaker and the Deputy, who will sit to come and swear in the new Parliament that will be convened, and then they vacate their position because the Parliament will hold its own. Bishop, let me take you to the issues regarding the Oasis Forum. The Oasis Forum have been begging the president to follow a process that is transparent, that is open in constitutional making process. The president has not. He proceeded to table Bill 7, and when it was just going into second reading, there was a ruling from the Constitutional Court that nullified the entire process. To date, the Minister of Justice has not withdrawn her Bill 7 in Parliament. It's still on the shelf to be brought back. The president even appointed the technical committee outside what was provided for in the law, because the Constitutional Court and precedents says create enabling legislation. You saw under Bill 10, a legal framework was established that provided for consultative processes and cleared the roadmap of how the new constitution will be implemented. In this case, there is no legal framework whatsoever. And the president even appointed the technical committee. Under powers, he appoints permanent secretaries for special duties. So members of the technical committee were merely doing a special duty for the president. They were not making a constitution. But he has tasked them to make a constitution and come up with a draft that he wants to table to Parliament, before year end. Oasis Forum saw that the president was obstinate on his way. They called for a public protest to take a memorandum of demand to State House, and they said they will march to State House. The president was alarmed. He called off those that march with a press conference where he even threatened that if they marched, they were likely going to be met by another well-organized group. And Zambian asked, which other well-organized group, other than the one you will organize, Mr. President? Lucky enough, Oasis Forum care about our country more than the president does. They said, okay, we'll only hold a prayer rally. We'll meet in enclosed doors at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus. Then we will honor your invitation to come and discuss with you. Let me just play what the presentation in Parliament was. Then I invite Bishop Weupe to come and give us her views on this matter. Let me just look for the video of Mama Beauty Katebe, NGOCC chair, where she... where is my video? As I'm looking for the video, just wait
Mr.
for
B
me.
Can be the MP raised. Honorable members, President was set in the ruling of the point of order raised on Tuesday, 15th October 2025 by Ms. Dr. C. Andereki, Member of Parliament for Katombola constituency, on the status of Mr. J. E. Banda, then Member of Parliament for Petauke Central constituency, following his absence from the House after his disappearance from the Chipata Central Hospital. In that case, the House resolved that I invoke Article 72(8) of the Constitution by informing the Electoral Commission of Zambia of the occurrence of a vacancy in the Petauke Central Parliamentary Constituency. This followed the prolonged and unauthorized absence by Mr. J. E. Banda, despite being accorded several opportunities to present himself and to attend to the business of the House. The House placed the reliance on Article 72(2)(c) of the Constitution, which renders a parliamentary seat vacant when a member acts contrary to the prescribed code of conduct. The prescribed code of conduct that was breached by Mr. J. E. Banda was Standing Order 243 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024 on a member's requirement to seek permission to be absent from the sitting of the House from the relevant authorities. In this regard, I am of the considered view that this august House must not be seen to depart from the set precedent by establishing a precedent that deprives constituents of their right to representation for an indefinite period. As earlier noted, I directed Ms. T. Lungu MP to present herself and to attend the business of the House within 14 days of the opening of the 5th session of the 13th National Assembly. To date, this directive has not been adhered to. For this reason, and as per precedent set in the J.E. Banda case, Ms. T. Lungu, MP, is in breach of the prescribed code of conduct, being Standing Order 215 and 243 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024. In view of the foregoing, I'll put the question for the resolution of the House to invoke Article 72(8) of the Constitution. I now put the question. The question is that my office should invoke Article 72(8) of the Constitution of Zambia Act, Chapter 1 of the Laws of Zambia, by informing the Electoral Commission of Zambia of the occurrence of a vacancy in the Chawama parliamentary seat. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. No. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. I thank you.
That decision is totally illegal today or in the future. That decision remains illegal. I'm looking for the video in which the the Oasis Forum made presentation to Parliament. I'll find it. Let me just bring Bishop to give us his views about this matter. Bishop, the issue of the Oasis Forum, the talks, and the constitution making process.
I want to commend the Oasis Forum for standing up for the people of Zambia, and they are calling for the bill entirely. The whole process must be stopped. That was their appeal. Now, what is quite disturbing is even when the president and Oasis Forum and all others gathered together and made a presentation, they were advised to go to the courts of law. They were advised to use and protest. Well, the president must understand that protest is another form of political engagement. It is not to be substituted by any other means. There are more than one. For example, voting is another method. Protest is another mode of political engagement. So not substitute one mode for another. It is up to those people who want to communicate to decide the most effective way given the circumstances that they have. Maybe they have experienced in the time past the fact that whenever they try to bring about an issue, it is not considered. Then they resolve to protest openly and send the word around the world. You cannot stop people from using a mode which they consider to be more effective to communicate the message that they have. I have seen protests around the world. Some are thousands and thousands. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? We are intimidated, afraid of our own shadows. You should not be intimidated. We put you in office to do your job and not to get scared of a group of people walking the street. You started, threatening and talking about all others who are coming to do harm. Forget it, stop it. Give freedom to people under democracy. Let's be mature in how we conduct ourselves. We are sick and tired of African politics, how we are doing it. Leave people, give them the liberty. Do your job, that's all. Do your job will talk for you. Don't tell them to shut up. Let people talk. Learn to listen. In life, we are always learning. I learned from my grandmother. There was a time, well, this is self-disclosure. I was listening to how my grandmother was teaching, my sisters. And one day she told a story. And the story was that Vana Chimbusa, I don't know my English if you're Mubeta, Vana Chimbusa, they went to teach a young lady who was having trouble in the marriage. Now, when they got there, each time they told this young lady something, the young lady says, Ichona lichi shiva. I know that. Another thing, she says, Ichona lichi shiva. I know it all. Then these wise women said, Bane, tule fundo mukulumu nensu na tule ya. We are teaching our fellow adult. Let's go. I'm saying this to say, let's listen. You may know, but learn to listen. Life is resident in the ear. That's what we have been told at Tumwawalalamukutwi. As we listen to people, we learn and we extend our lives. Listening to advice is very important. We cannot just continue ignoring people when they are calling for something. When Zambians say we don't like this, listen, Mr. President, and all your advisors, we are not afraid of anything. Listen. It pays to listen. You can't dribble them all. You cannot do that. You can't do that. Let's listen to what people are saying. That's wisdom. So that's what I've learned from my grandmother, and I use it. I listen to people, what they're saying. So may we listen, the priests, the lawyers, everybody, they come together. Listen, Mr. President. Don't cling to power. We love you. We put you in that office. We did. We stood in the line to put you in the office to work, to serve us. So listen to our cry. Making of laws is a subjective process. Others may think otherwise, but I strongly believe that when somebody begins to insist on changing laws, there is something that is hiding. He is hiding something. Because the insistence must come from us as a people pushing and say, we want this law. Take, for example, it has been on my heart and I've written about it, the plight of senior citizens who are constantly killed under the guise of accusing them of witchcraft. We have not bothered to strengthen the law to protect these senior citizens. People, senior citizens, are dying every day, shot in cold blood. I have information. We have it, all of us, even in the papers, we see it day after day. Why can't you make it a priority to protect these vulnerable people who are like children? But this becomes an issue. Doctors have no salaries, they're not permanently employed, most of them. And this has become the most important. And people are saying, no, where are you going to get the money to fund this kind of, legislation that is coming? Where are you going to get the money? Those are questions that must be addressed. People are suspicious because of the insistence to have this bill. No, we don't want it, Mr. President. Find something else to do, but not this bill. You refused Bill 10, you stood up. What is puzzling me, let me speak my mind, is how inconsistent we have become. You say one thing, today you are doing something else. Consistency is very important in leadership because you build trust. If you are inconsistent in your language, in your conduct, whatever you are doing, you lose trust. Then you begin to these people hate me. Hey, Mr. President, I was very disappointed when I heard you complain. I'm today talking about you. I have respect for leadership. I've written a book on that is entitled Honor Your Parents. And this is what I've written. Disrespecting leaders is one of a sure way of destroying a nation. The Bible states that do not blaspheme God or curse the ruler of your people. Exodus 22 verse 28. You should not curse the prophet, the priest, the chief, or the ruler of a nation. Don't curse him, the Bible declares. Satan knows that his power and control over a nation is dependent upon the absence of powerful leadership among the people. Chiefs and rulers of the nation must be respected. They must be respected, and I condone no nonsense of disrespecting a leader of the people, because God says don't. Now, what we are talking about here is actually what we are observing. There must be consistency in what our leaders are doing, both in the church, in politics, wherever they are. Accountability, consistency, all the qualities of leadership must be seen in our leaders. So when I talk about this, all I'm saying is that let us be consistent and earn our respect, and also be able to earn our trust. Because if you water away the trust, people will not respect you. We respect you, we love you, we don't hurt you. I was touched to hear you lament, talking about the venom, looking at the past. Mr. President, listen, we cannot despise or discredit the indispensable and never-ending wisdom of the past. But it is wrong to dwell in the past. You know, the obstacle to social, political, economic progress is and has been those who have their abode in the tombs of yesterday. They lay the dead hand of the past on the living present. You know, you cannot dwell in the past. You are above that, Mr. President. Let's move on, and we have work ahead of us. That's why the quotation that I brought, with malice towards none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right, as God gives us the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds. That's what we want. Bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle for his widow and his orphan. That's what we should be doing now. Don't use language that inspires hatred. We don't hate you, Mr. President. We love you so much. We put you in that office to bear fruit that will remain. We love you. Do not divide us. We love our brothers and sisters. All my life, I've never known hostility between us and the Tongas. No, I've never known it. Literally, I've been in school, interacted with everybody. No tribalism at all. No, please, Mr. President, help us. We love each other. We've come along where our forefathers shed their blood because of this country to become what it is. Please, we beseech you, unite us. We'll follow your leadership if you deliver on your promises. Lies cannot give us food. Ubufi tabukumba musunga. That's the African's wisdom for today's living. Ubufi tabukumba musunga. You don't expect lies to deliver the promises. No, it can't do that. That's not what it is. It is the truth that will set you free. It's the truth that will deliver. So we are willing to be led by anybody. And now we are talking because you are making us begin to talk. We have listened for quite a long time, and we have observed what is happening now. So don't tell us to shut up, because we will know we are prophets of God, and we're going to speak what God is saying to us. Love one another. Love one another. That's what we need in Zambia, is loving one another. I have a quotation by one lady, Mary McLeod Bethune. She said, I leave you love. Love builds. It is positive and helpful. That's what she said. It is more beneficial than hate. Injuries quickly forgotten, quickly pass away. Injuries quickly forgotten, quickly pass away. You may pardon me. I'm not preaching, but I want this message to get across. Injuries quickly forgotten, quickly pass away. Personally and racially, our enemies must be forgiven. Forgive your enemies, Mr. President. I come today with the love. You know, the one who tells you the truth loves you, doesn't hate you. Our aim must be to create a world of fellowship and justice where no man's skin, color, or religion or tribe should be held against them. And then she went on to say, you know, she says, love thy neighbor is a precept which could transform the world if it were universally practiced. It connotes brotherhood, and to me, brotherhood of man is the noblest concept in all human relations. Love your neighbor means being interracially, interreligious, international, and intertribal. That is what love is. We don't want to be listening to, oh, you did this to me, you did, no, Mr. President, leave us with quotations that unites. Wisdom that is invested in you. Give it to us. We'll take it and we'll move in this country. We are not going to talk about what we are not. We are loving people. We care for one another. We want to continue to love each other. So we expect every leader, wherever they are, to promote the values of Zambia. We are a loving nation. Wish you all the best and God bless you. As we continue in this dialogue, I would like to hear from you, all of you. I want to hear from you. This is what we need. We cannot be watching on the fence, tearing Zambia apart. No, we love one another.
Thank you, Bishop.
That's what I can say.
Thank you, Bishop. I'll be opening the phone lines. The phone lines are on. You can call on the issue of Tassila and on the issue of the Constitution.
The ministers and other government officials present here, the Oasis Forum delegation, I just want to say thank you to everyone around here. Mr. President, I will start by thanking you for extending this invitation to the Oasis Forum. I think that just demonstrated good leadership. I know from where we are coming from, it was the issue of our minister just opposite to me responds to us in the newspapers. We also go to the newspapers. It was a media fight. And when it is a media fight, everyone wants to win. We wanted to win, they wanted to win, so it wasn't a good thing. And we are happy that you invited us to come here. We are grateful for that invitation. But allow me, Mr. President, to be very, very candid on the reason why we are here. We wanted to be here for a celebration and not what we are here for. The people of Zambia, I'm very sure, would have loved us to come here to bring thanks and gratitude for your delivery on the promises that we, as people of Zambia, expected. But we are here to discuss the amendment of the Constitution, which is supposed to be a very straightforward issue. Much as we are saying that the amendment of the Constitution brings issues, but I think if process and content is followed from the word go, I don't think any of the citizens of Zambia would have reason to raise questions, especially us as women, because there were issues, or there are issues in the Bill 7 that pertain to inclusion in the Constitution, in the amendment. But for us to come back to you and sit in this manner, or go to the media, go to the public and speak in the manner that we are speaking, Mr. President, there is something that is not adding up, and we thought we could just have it corrected before we can proceed. There is something that needs to be corrected. Process of the Constitution amendment must be a process of the Constitution amendment, and that is what has worried us. There are a number of issues, Mr. President, maybe that we could have wanted to be discussing here, especially that if you talk about the previous regime or successive governments, there are a number of issues that you and us went together into the dungeons. And if there were people that were in the dungeons deeper than all of us, I think it's you, because you experienced everything. Hence, the reason why you are here. We wanted to vote for a president who has experienced, who has cried with us, who has known what the people of Zambia wants, so that when you are here, you will remember that that time we were here, this is what we wanted, let me give to them. This time we were here, this is what we wanted, let me give it to them. So we were actually happy to see you here, because we were very sure that most of the things that we cried for, because we were crying together, were going to be very straightforward, and not a situation where we come and sit and plead, or we come and sit and cry, or we even intend to go to the streets. I will not say a lot of things here, Mr. President, but I will indicate that we are here to discuss the Constitution amendment, and we have expectations. Our expectations, Mr. President, are that one, we expect that Bill 7 is completely withdrawn from the floor of the House. And two, we expect a fresh process supported by legal safeguards to be commenced. And thirdly, we expect that such new
Then they're saying, no, we are not allowing HH and UPND to amend the Constitution. The question is why? Because there are lacunas in there. Is it the first government to amend the Constitution? No. Who else amended the Constitution? In this manner, UNIP government. UNIP government. Bamuzungu is here. Bakurumpe. He was there. Institutional memory. UNIP amended the Constitution. The argument is that why you amend the Constitution now? So when is the right time? What does the Constitution say? It's silent. UNIP amended the Constitution in 1991. Limbina Mulava. In the election year. 1991, in the election year. People celebrated. 1996, MMD under President Chiluba, Aka Red in Aka Black. May his soul rest in peace. Right? Yes, that man did a lot of things to turn the country from a wrong direction, in my view. I don't want to debate this. May his soul rest in peace. We don't appreciate a lot of things he did to move us downhill into a positive trajectory. 1996, the MMD and the FDJ amended the Constitution in the election year. There was no problem, no street fights. Same organizations didn't go in the streets. By Kalafi Fidia Tondolo, and the Constitution is being amended. No street fights. 2016, under PF, the Constitution was amended. Right? Election year. In January, the election was in August. They amended the Constitution. No one went in the streets. We were aggrieved as UPND. And I told my members, no one goes in the streets. Let's vote in Parliament. We voted and lost in Parliament. I never allowed our members to go in the streets. UPND, this man they don't like, for whatever reason. Right? You know, this level of hatred is shocking. Right? You can see that There's venom here. You can even touch it. There's venom here. We go to amend the Constitution using the same law, using the same Constitution, which was applied, clauses which were used before. It says, no, we don't want. The timing is wrong. But what about those other timings when it was amended? What was wrong?
The lines are open. The president says you just hate him. That's why you criticize him. His analogy of the Constitution and the explanations of the amendments that were done are extremely, extremely shocking. You know, he looks like he needs to go to NIPA and get some just minimum education on constitution making process. If you look at 1968, Dr. Kaunda had become insecure. He had just lost, the position of vice president. The person he had put, Kapwepwe beat him. A matter that started the process to one-party state. If you look at 1973 changes, the Mainza Chona Commission, that one is even very dire. It established a one-party state. There was violence and opposition. People went to court. Bet Mushala decided to go in the bush. He decided to cause rebellion. So I don't know where the president gets these updates that there was no issue. The 1991, there was food riots. There was a coup attempt. The tension was so palpable. He had no choice. And remember, there was no election due. The election was due in 1993. But because of the tensions in 1990 and 91, to dissolve that political tension and preserve Zambia, we had to go multi-party. And the president changed Article 4 of the Constitution. In 1996, John Sangwa went to court to try to prevent the court from going into that constitutional amendment. Remember, there was what was called the Green Paper in 1996, where while Parliament was sitting, civil society and other political parties also sat to pass their own constitution. The president says there was no opposition and people just hate him. After 1996 and we barred Kaunda, there was a coup attempt in 1997. The only bipartisan process has been the 2016 where both UPND and PF voted. But the president says you hate him. Let me hear from you. I'm hosting Dr. Paul Wehupe, a clergy from Ndola, Bishop Paul Wehupe, and we are discussing two issues, the issue of Tasila, Lungu Mwansa, and a seat being declared. I've demonstrated that the declaration is both illegal, and Dr. Wehupe has demonstrated that that nullification of that seat, the declaration of it, making it vacant, is also immoral, unethical, un-African, and no empathy whatsoever, and it drew us to the verses that require that we are empathetic. Let me start with our first caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello. Thank you so much, Ambassador. I would prefer to be just called Chawama One.
Chawama One, make your contributions.
I want to appreciate Bishop. May God richly bless you. That information that you have brought out, if I were somebody, I would just say, the church has spoken. This section of the society have spoken. Just like we have mentioned Emmanuel Mwamba, that Kaunda was most feared politician or ruler we had in this country. But it took him to humble himself, to listen to the cry of the people. And then he gave in to allow democratization. For that, I thank Dr. Kaunda, may so rest in peace. But Bishop, maybe if you can even read 2 Chronicles chapter 9, 5, 6, 7. When the king was appointed, he appointed judges, and these are the instructions that he gave to the judges. I am appointing you as judges, not to go there and pervert justice. When you are delivering these judgments, the courts of law, you are doing it for God. So be careful. Don't even take bribes. Don't be impartial. Oh, my goodness. Today, the message that you delivered, Bishop, is what I can compare to the trumpet of conscience by the late Dr. Martin Luther King. We need peace in Zambia. We only have one country called Zambia. May God bless this country. May we move together and agree on what is beneficial to the Zambians and not that which is beneficial to individual persons. Coming to Chawama, the law provides that 57.2, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not aware by the way, that a by-election cannot be conducted 180 days before a general election. What is the rush all about? Where are we getting these monies to spend on by-elections when we've got our farmers who have not been paid by Food Reserve Agency? Why do we want to increase the constituencies? Some of the MPs, I'm not insulting, they just go there to sleep, waiting for the end of the term to get gratuity. That is blood money. We don't have the resources. We are struggling as a nation. Please, to the powers that be, let us get instruction from the teaching from this man of God and those that are speaking. And
thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, my name is Thomas. I'm calling you from Zambia. Good evening, Bishop. Good evening, Mwamba.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Mwamba, to start with, I'll start commenting on the Oasis Forum dialogue with the president. You know, the moment the Oasis Forum agreed they're going to have a dialogue with the president, you know what clicked on my mind? The thing that clicked on my mind is Archbishop Tresfom Pundu. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Proceed.
Hello?
We can hear you continue to make contributions.
The first thing that clicked on my mind, all right, the first thing that clicked on my mind was Archbishop Tresfom Pundu. I remember on this same forum, I think that time you are still in Zambia, you hosted Bishop Tresfom Pundu. He said something, I don't know if you still remember. People were complaining to say, you are criticizing the president. Why can't you go and have a dialogue with him? Archbishop Pundu by Emmanuel answered you his words. Yet Uliamuntu is a very difficult person. We went there to have a dialogue with him to tell him the cry of the people and stuff. We ended up being embarrassed. He embarrassed us in such a way that he State House, if you remember very well. So the moment Oasis Forum said they are going to State House, I knew it. What was the point of the president coming up with a platform to dialogue if he knew to say he's just going to tell the people to say, go to Parliament or to the courts? The reason why people are protesting and don't want this thing is because the courts have failed them. Parliament has failed them. That's why they are crying. So him as a parent was supposed to come in to say, why are you crying? Why have you gone to the court? These people are going to explain why they can't go to the court anymore, why they can't go to Parliament anymore. Him as a leader, yes.
Oh, that line is becoming bad. We can hear you, my brother, but let's take other calls and try to call back. But your point is made very clear. Yeah, there are so many missed calls. The lines are open. Please make your calls and make your contributions. We are discussing the issue of Tasila have demonstrated that the nullification of a seat is not supported by the law, either the standing orders in Parliament or the articles of the Constitution that declares that position vacant. I've also demonstrated that in Parliament, the regulations on standing orders on the absences and privileges committee, their punishment through Parliament and the recommendations is not removal of such a person, so of such an MP. There is no such powers. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, President Ambassador Mwamba. Niwamunkongeawa.
Mkwaiba.
Ambassador, inencho ndefo okwipushako balera ndabwangu kwebati muyunipi bapenda na muchiruba nomanga tuambo okulolesha UNIP lensta ya UNIP bushe National Assembly ya lishani nangu separation of powers pali ino nshita nefe yali bushe filifimo fine because iyo nshita walela ndapo nangu tuwasawula amusa mwana mwambwa tupala nyana babantu bakwete nangu tuwawula na rubiata kulia babantu tukwete again nangu tuwasawula Aileen Mambilima kulia babama tubule bonse abo kufuma mu UNIP bushe ECZ nina nyuwali kada wa muchirongani no nangu wa mama ba Aileen Mambilima ba ase ochuru background nshiba kwete ya mu political party bushe chile pilibula shani ife akweba ati nani partisan nangu civil servants chipilibula shani fure fyonse bafire bena fyonse ba ferole shapo because president nchito yako kulingana nene fona nshwano bututu wandi ena fure fyasaro lera biwo ayirole shofa bapekenye fo kwa vera separation of power monse fya pitangana fye fya kuri wa ECZ fo bale pekanya na president state yeshibe na bashani baraba fire nsako bonse na abantu fo bapekenye president wa kwisa isa mwana mu fenomba kwali befundeli ambira kuri president rolire ya kubantu rolire na ku parliament awo chaka na nombe fo bale chitako mpea which means nishi tafiweme na nguni pano because vena structure ya watapali filipo separation of powers tapali wali ona yonza separation of power tapali ile bomba separation of power ili pali vena chonse filipali vena nomba bala basitashani trust baraba nabo fya mafunde ya reptira because tayale bani interest ya ba president nanguli bakaunda bali tulira kuchalo so kwa vera separation of power takwa baba judiciary baya muri wa legislature au legislature yala muno kulingana nefe yasambirira legislature ama powers yaiko ngaya mona mwe finti fishiri bwino yala kana wa judiciary nabwe na kuli abala abamoni okweba tawo kulingana na understanding yawo wa parliament na bena ukuisa anomba na kuma churches na mtwasarosha CRC na NCC ino nshitanga tuana ngwaipsha ama village judgment bali baperi orupapuro before taruraisa noko bachitapa brisha ama books mu marango ya apsana na munire nshita abamwana wasa bali tole kubantu that's why kile kintu cyali bayifunde yali ba expensive takwa befunde ili akupanga fye kwatirimbini nina kanini church committee murepanga icharo chakulisha ichi mwana ko bati church committee na yena chairman pa church tete ayipangire feka pa church pali ba ma committees na yena yararandira kwa abantu bali atawe fifu amafundi aturefu akubikapo pa church tete tubike po amafundi nomba watu mu mucharo when understanding ya knowledge yabo bamo tete babo mshamano ya ward 5 ukuko kupindura charo chonse baraba pangira ma structure ya government. What is government? Bafire bachita understand basa ishwana ma powers yabo po ya pererere nomba mulando wakwe bati tinaranga so fure ndira twali bapata umuntu wabufi ba mwamba takwabo kumutemu hapo kwamba fe mu society mundu poa umuntu wabufi pantu mubufi emuturefintu fingu umuntu wabufi kutayipaya umuntu wabufi kutayiba because inshinga tachireshani takwete nomba bena bali beparangu pa family wabepa abana tonka mishitire pawami abana bareshimikira nakuba nabo wataho badatinga twafora bano nomba wakano kubashitira abana abo balero kwe bati baraforanga ni sapato shanyu nombole fwanga wapanga ndabana bare kusekera barakusekera inshi wamba no kubakalipira tinishita muri nsansa mukira kubeba okay ofo nshashitire nsapato bani bali mputwira sana anaforira kandala makano no mbere ni ko inshita bati nishibano mufyashara nakirira kubana nomba beno obufi babepo wingi ubufi babepa bali firo kuchitapo admit nangu ni bumo pama right pali bill 10 bale sta demonstrate bale kana tawe ine shari hapo munse bati bale ama videos opo yali nombo po omuntu lekano cho wachitire ni bana ni bara kuchetekera okupanga urupapuro because taba kuchetekere pantu kuti wasachinja mano na firafinyora ndati urupapuro liriso kanshitefyo ruri ngarwa pitafye iwo kalinisho waliberera ukanara ndechinga so point number 1 urupapuro tetrupite because ba head of state na bakwato obufi testu bapitera mumbali na bakwato obufi ngataba kwato obufi bakeze kuchalo bakarombyo uwerero kumwe na Zambia onse gatureranda kuri ba PF kuri ba UPND tebonza baba mu mapata bekara chalo abekara fe pamayanda bakarombyo uwerero yonse amapromise vakapange press conference vakavike na chilist okay nalimira ya so ifina alifirwa vani nalimira ya na so na start meet na alifirwa nomanga chako wati tabarombere ubonero ku bantu tapali umuntu ingate mu muntu wabufi bantu na satano fo bamupatira abantu ali kwa tobufi arabe pa abantu ati fe sumu muntu pasa parasta sangwa mu bwafya so kina mbawangu first bafume kubufi
Bamunkonge, thank you. Lekenin just call. Thank you, Bamunkonge. Thank you, Bamunkonge. There are so many calls. Let me try to pick the other calls as well. Thank you very much, Bamunkonge. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Sinyangwe Dani from Canada.
Thank you. Thank you, Sinyangwe.
Ambassador Mwamba, I just want to thank the Bishop of Ebalandi Rapa. Muneni ba Bishop na kwata message over Chilanda. Chen tulete mwana. Olonga tuate mwana. Will not let other things be blind us. The other thing is, I think I can say I'm privileged to have one person who attended the OSES forum. And when I was asking this colleague of mine to say, what can you take from this meeting with the president? And my colleague was very honest to say, we are dealing with a troubled soul. Our president, he is a troubled soul. And he always wants to make everything all about himself. And for me, what even bothered me most was how he can say, you hate me because of my tribe. And for me, we should not buy that cheap politics from him. We love him. He's our president. If we voted for him, we voted for him because of out of love, and we had all that hope that he's going to lead Zambians. Whether you are Tonga, whether you are Mambwe like me, whether you are Tumbuka like others, whether you are Bemba like Mwamba, I become the president of all Zambians. So let us not buy from what he's trying to tell us. We love him, but we don't love what he's doing for the country and the promises that he made for the country that he has failed to fulfill. So we are calling him out, not because we hate him, but because of the love that we have. Then coming on the by-election for Chawama, this is not even something that we should even be talking about. But Madam Nelly Muti, I think sometime ask yourself, if you yourself have lost a loved one and you have not put to rest that loved one, would you even be attending official duties? Tasila Lungu is where she is because of your government and your doing and your evil schemes towards the late president body. And then today you want to come out and say, no, that seat, we should have a by-election. Come on, people. We can do much better than this. This is the same kind of love that the bishop is telling us Zambians. We don't have time. If that money that BAICZ want to waste on that by-election Chawama, please take it to the cancer hospital in UTH. Buy medicine for Zambians. We thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. We thank you, the bishop. And we continue preaching about the love of God and the love for one another. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dear viewers, you can join in the debate. We are discussing the issue of Tasila had read out here what is required if our seats have to be declared vacant by both. I've read the provisions in the Constitution and I've read the standing orders. Her seat can be declared vacant on account of absence. So was JJ Banda's seat in Petauke. The law doesn't provide for that. If you want to declare a seat vacant based on her absence, you have to provide for it in the law. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Mwamba. My name is Uncle Jay. I'm calling you from the United States of America.
Thank you. Please make your contribution.
Thank you so much. We are really in trouble as a nation. I've spoken before and I've said this is the president that Zambia should have never had in the first place. These are people that are hell-bent at destroying the country. They have no empathy. If you look at the demeanor of the president, this is a person who doesn't care how others feel. he doesn't feel any pain at all. Surely, who would do such a thing? That lady is in pain. The pain that was caused by Hakainde Hichilema himself, a man that does not want to lose. Very petty president we are having for the very first time. And these things that he keep referring to, the past, governments changed the constitution. He has to go back to the memory. Let him check what was taking place in all those places. The 2016 constitution amendment was a bipartisan amendment. UPND consented because there was a lot of clauses that they really wanted also changed. That was, and most of the people really supported that change, constitution amendment. So this president, for me, is a very, very bad president we are having. And for me, it has more to do on how this man grew up. He's very manipulative, very manipulative. He likes playing on our emotions. And the biggest mistake they made, I pray that, the Oasis Forum reconsiders, because this man will stop at nothing to achieve what he wants. He started by first blocking Edgar Lungu because he thought he was the only threat to his presidency. After blocking him, unfortunately, Edgar Lungu died. He went on. Now it is realized to say it's the people that I'm fighting. What does he do? He's gone on to defranchise voters by creating a way where certain regions of the country are not properly registered. Very few numbers. Where you see in his strongholds, more people are registered against the population of big cities like Lusaka and Copperbelt. Where on earth? We have a very bad president, and we pray that this president doesn't make it to 2016 for us to vote. I thank you. It's so annoying.
Thank you very much. In fact, on the issue of registration, a lot of people have called on ECZ to reopen, especially for Lusaka. Can you imagine that Southern Province has registered more registered voters than Lusaka, which has the largest population in our country? Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mkwai Mwashuken, please make your contributions. Yole sale tupala shana imwe.
Jitae. Omba wantu fue tupala senda pofie. Kwena tetulali pirwenda la mashanga taga. But ifyo fyonse bakosedere ifyo. Tetwe ngala wenshi bakutira fue botwali bapele ali ama vote. Ishtetwa fish bafikana shule kanshi twaisa afikwata muri yo ne 2026. Batipere ko fue wenda la mashesho. Napelera opene te shukuru ne tata muombe wi.
Thank you. A farmer from Mwense says, we still haven't been paid and it's been raining. And he says, when will we pay us? How come your priority is the issue of the constitution, yet you haven't paid us? That's a good contribution. The president has been urged to hold meaningful dialogue with the Oasis Forum, but it's not looking good already because we understand that he just gave them a lecture and advised them to lobby with MPs, meaning that the bill will go to Parliament. That's what it means. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Honorable Mwamba, my name is Charles. I'm here from Orlando.
Charles from Orlando. Wonderful to hear from you. Make your contributions.
Yeah. Honorable Mwamba, we are not in the normal situation. And this is what we are fighting for, to go back to the normal. The nullification of Tusila's Lungu seed is very unfortunate, and we shouldn't even be surprised that it was going to be like this, because we know the type of the person he is, So this is the thing is, we have to organize ourselves, because we are dealing with a person who has got no respect for the rule of law, and we know that. So, like my brother, the bishop there, it's time to turn on the thermostat. We have to start organizing. This time now, the church should not even be announcing that this is what we're going to do. We just have to organize ourselves and show him that the country does not belong to him. Because a normal person would not come here and say, oh, these people, they hurt me. How do they hurt you when you were elected as the president of Zambia? It does not make sense. And for you to be a president, this job is you asked for it. That's how it is. If they stone you, you asked for the job. All you have to do is go back and look back and focus and review. Where am I going wrong? But this guy doesn't have the senses for that. So the opposition, we are wasting time. Don't go on the media, The opposition, they are wasting too much time. If I was in the position, they should be meeting every day, Kelvin Fuve, Makebi Zulu, you name them. They should be in one room almost every day talking. Because we know all of them, they are good candidates. And everybody wants to be the president. We understand that, but we are going to choose one. Because if it was in the normal situation, everybody was going to stand on there. But this is not a normal situation. This guy is crying. He's crying like a baby who does not understand things that you cannot eat sweets or candy every day. This is the person we are dealing with. So the change, I'm pleading to the church. It's time to turn on the thermostat, and show him that the country does not belong to one person. The country belongs to everybody. And when everybody's doing good, even the president himself will be doing good. All he wants is power by all means, through lies. Who buys lies? How are people going to love you when you are not giving them electricity? You're giving them 3 hours electricity. Where? Which country? And then you are making all these foolish moves. The people, they are seeing through that. But now it's time to get organized. There is no need to wait for this guy. He's not going to listen. So it's us, the normal people, to show him that we mean business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For all the callers, we may need to begin to close your calls so that we can allow Bishop to answer.
This is what you meant. Kaleza sembe siti na vote. Talema na boaba, talema na boza. Basi eni baende tuone kovina. Wenye wapaka, sweet toka isha. Tifuna mariza utinoti mastori. Apa mvula ya kwa manje. Mulimi sana fole. Fertilizer yodulatiza gula bonji. Apati enda kuma elections. Muzani pasa exuze bonji. Ndabachi onekani napanga mistake. Talema na boaba. Talema.
Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mama Mishani.
How Febuino?
This is from Livingston.
Yes, my brother.
Now let me also greeting our man of God. We're guiding our son. You did actually Yabatastarungu in terms of if you vale bare ruchita torment. I think this kind of tormenting is very much unfair to the Lungu family. Ama consequences ba tasira Lungu barushira po ishipona chidya. They are actually caused by the state. Urupuru inelwalisaranduka okuchira ti warashika mu South Africa, and many people travel to South Africa, and people booked them hotels and everything. But what did the government do? On the day of burial, they had to stop that burial. Don't babe no buteko. Echo burial by minike because ngatwarishika pa 25 June before tabaratola court. Staba batasira Lungu. Ngana babuza mu parliament. Nakale babuza mu parliament actually. So even I feel it's a very, very harsh decision because the delay by Tasira to get to parliament, to get back to parliament, has been caused by the state. They took that family to court, including Tasira and the entire family, simply because wishes ya family. The instructions were very clear to say, and that time when the first agreement was being drafted, it was clear that HH unankane beka bampepi no mubiri wa Lungu. It was very clear. It was read openly. Some of us even we almost condemned that twice around the public. But now that's when we are justifying. That's when it is being justified why it was actually done in public to save a president of Kubako. Because Ekobafunya Uruporo wa Lungu in terms of Ukubachusha, Kwatarimpa. Remember that after Barungu was diagnosed the cancer Yapamkoshit, and he was supposed to be seeing the doctors. I think it was every 3 months about Barungu very doctor because cancer it spread cancer. So it needs constant checkups. Now, from the time Barungu of Minim Power in 2021, Makebi Basa Lembeng character, Shah face to cover it. Barifoko ya kuchipata. Uteko bara ndoko ba tapari chuma. Barungu barando cover okay, I'm going to find this kind of I'm going to fund my own medicals. Still more government yarifilo kupera permission Barungu kwa kuchipatara. Dr. Lungu was delayed for 3 years. Cancer, umuntu akote appointment every 3 months, was delayed for 3 years without seeking medical attention. And then the time when he had an opportunity to get to South Africa for medicals, the people who stamped his passport was fired. But I don't know if they have reinstated him right now. I need to be guided. But the staff who about the passport ya Barungu bali batampe nchito Barungu ku South Africa baya uteko balishibete bali mu chipatala olokutandala takwali uteko bakutana unza after Barungu bafo bakateka basa in the 7 days. And you saw the social media if you buy propaganda ya babantu they kept on insulting Barungu even in his death. Barungu uruporo wabo chishi bifu baruchishe kuri bakateka bezo chishi because umuntu alifuwa kare. But again, you are still tormenting his family like this. Awe ishina tachiri buno ba Mwamba tachiri buno chi.
Thank you very much. Sondwele, then I need to bring
before the postponement of those that program which was organized by Oasis, a peaceful march past. I actually made a video where I was saying that wakateka beso tabasumine filifionse tabasumine abe nanga ba koserera fechin bafwa fechachitika And then before that, we heard that ama MPs. When about some bad manner prophecy akushita ma MPs. Ukwa to butane iteshan. Yeah, through. We heard that from Shosho. Again, it was confirmed by JJ Banda, who named all the members of parliament who have been lined up to be paid. It was arranged at 3 million. For them, in order for them to vote for the Bill 7. Remember, parliament never sent. Legislature, court number na issue court. It's very difficult for court.
Thank you, Bamwewa. Bamwewa, thank you very much. Let me take the last call, and then this will be my last caller. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mkwaine Nara Anonymous.
Yes, we're anonymous.
Na totela. Alaba kateka besu bali kwato mutimo ubi. Bali kwato mutimo ubi taba kwato mutima wa buntu. Bantu batasila lungu. Na beshi banecho babe bekalire kulya. Ili obuteko ewa batwele kulya. Nomba kwena ngefyo chaba. Umuntu fia kwa bela fie. Teta kwate ko fie nkumbu. Kuba nave bamu nankwe abana banshiwa. Ushanika teka washani uyu. Alafu ebena Zambia tuisule amenso. Tumone. Tulete kwa nechiwa. Aya makafie na mano ya chiwa. Ichwe chisha kwa doruse. Ave na babi pisha batata bali bipo mutima tabende shakona ngupa nono uruseka baba na mwene fie hapo batwele fie bamkamfirwa fie kukoti ekwa kuishibira fie tuyu muntu alibipa tasenda tafwayo kulusa afwaya fie wa wina fie na pafishilingile fie afuire fie awina amonikira tina awina ala alibipo mutima. Fwewe na Zambia tuiluke mu 2026 ala tufumye chibanda na totela.
Thank you very much. Strong words there. Hello, caller, you are my last caller. Please make your contributions. Make your contributions.
Yes, Mulenga from Chingola.
Yes, please make your contributions.
Bamwamba wesu ilili ashiria batasila. Neri ashiria Bill 7. Uwaka tukwete kuli wa president wesu. Balikuwa tirimira papitana ngwa 40 yezo kuwa tekele chalo cha Zambia. Ngamwaroja sana pali ine Bill bale penda wila na pali Bill ya baka unda, mapenda wila na pali Bill ya ba chiruba. Fintu fimoto tuwale mono kwe bati. Nishi tuwala kani na ilo mchalo. Muli one party state. Hello president alando kwe bati. Fimo wa democracy. Mwa one party state. Turefu wa mwe democracy. Pakutila ma political parties. Yonze alita participate. Pali yeshita wakaunda wa ishile saini. Erintu wakaunda wale ruling echalo muli one party state. Mwalife unipita kwa ma political party. Hello waisa aebo kwe bati wala saina. Pakutila ma political party yalita participate. Nishi tuwala kani na yobio. Nisho tuwala vera against na yobio chinshi. Again nga tuwaisa isa paya abachiru bawe balelo ndororapo. Nintu bachiru baishire mono kwe bati muchalo. Balefu ya balaba president bafuma popantu baishire tampo kutina bachiru. Msho ema biu balefu okulondorona. Bata ina pakutila kuiba third term. Nishi wala kanina. Even though yalikweta ma hiccups because most of time tulesa mku kanina no muntu wakaere limbiwa tekele bwino echalo. Tuwa mukanina ukana abuela. But tuwalisa fisumina because pali ilajita nisholo tuwafu mine kuli one party state. Nga tuwaisa pali aba president wa iyo basa ine mu 2016. Mwalalo shokwe bati intu tuwalo leje pa mulandu wakwe bati. Iyo president yafo tuwala wele kuma election, tuwala kwata by election. Nongba tulefu watufu nyepo fida. Ichi alenga lelo wa maewa na mutelena numangu. Bako kolena pali chile chifulu walipo vice president. Pandu ino ishitanga tuwaliba lusha limbinga wali batamfia. Chonse vile vya lengelo kutuwa isimono kwa bati na ikuata valid. There's no need tufu nyepo. Tuwule president yale ikala pala pen. So tuwali isumini. Nomba hivyo tule walefu wababuli ya maa pointizi. 42 member of parliament. Olu wabantu mchalo bale chula. Ino itaba mwambanga mwapita mchalo mchesu chilo mzambio mutu ikeda. Mwalasa ngati bonza haba kwa tama buchari na besala. Tumuntu washitishe chili chonze. But walefu wabalundi wabiki ama member of parliament. 42. Which means a woman member of 42 walefu wakubika. Baka bakuru bali ulu wabu. obakati point ukoba tifa twala fukulanda lero se twala konka. So that's why bamwamba ilifunde bill 7 natuyikana nga babine nabo bakene bill 10 ilio bayire chinda kula ku community house basta na mabulai amangirira yo bachinda no kuchinda enyimbo. What is the problem ikwete kukosa? So filafine bakene na wona kuba kumita nshoko bali lo twalita protest no kuimya maplats na bena na tusubina tubebo ko bati twakana ili bill bayisunge nga bakapita 2026 bakatambyo kuyiwesha ero tukesa abamwana. Otherwise bamwamba tuletotera tulamyovuka tulamikonka na bapolisi abachi bapo twachira umfwa mwebe na Zambia tie ni tuime chisinta ngombe no kano ko Zambia ya muntu omo tulibonse tatwa bapata twalibatemwa twapatako vemisango yabo imisango bakwata bantu tabakwata ochumfuira okumfwa tabomfwa echo twapatako nofyo batulaire tabatupela echo twabapatirako.
Thank you. Let me bring in Bishop Paul Weupe, clergy from Ndola, renowned bishop. For all the callers, I apologize. I've taken as many calls as I could. Let us now allow Bishop to begin to answer to the callers' concerns. Then we'll begin to close. Oh, Bishop, just wait. There is a senior leader, a woman. I'm only expecting because she's a woman. Hello, caller. You are only excused because you are a regular caller and you are a woman. Please make your contributions quickly. Sorry about that. I just want to thank Speak in the phone. Speak in the phone. Okay, I'm quiet. Now we can hear you. Lelo ine ngwete fye chintu chimwe chinsakamike sana bamwamba. Yeah, I'm going to talk about violence because I've seen that every time I link into these social medias and whatever, I see people fighting quite a lot, which is not a good thing at all. Yeah, so I have a very strong thought, bamwamba, that may flow in the minds of most of the people in our country. Well, Mwamba, I do very much stand for the motto, one Zambia, one nation. Yeah, as it has actually, got a great significance. If we truly love ourselves, we should as well extend this love to the others, regardless of anything. But Mwamba, what I'm intending to say here is simply, let's not harm one another. We are born from one seed. Violence must never be incited, as it never, give us the best answer to any matter. Peace and love is the only essence, to freedom. And from time and again, Bamwamba, we need to be taught not to put, violence in front of us. We don't have to to look in the past. Yeah, we need to put a real development to our beloved Zambia. Yeah, and therefore we should leave, a good legacy and a health country in which, our children are going to have a place to live peacefully with the others. Because you see, if we continue fighting one another, we are not actually solving anything. Then lastly, I would also want to say I'm so grateful, to the decision of the Oasis group to have refrained from the demonstration, which was going to be pretty sure how this group is. And they have actually, shown to the world that they care for Zambians. This is why I wanted to say, Amanda, sorry, to catch you at the end. I always come home very late. Thank you so much. No, we thank you for the passion you have for the country. Even from work, you find time to call. We respect that. So that's why I gave you an opportunity. Let me bring in Bishop Paul Weupe.
Very much indeed for all the contributions that have come. They are very much in line and they are meant to build our nation. If anybody is offended, it's not deliberate, it's because people are very passionate about this subject. Now, the message is always, let me quote another president, because we are dealing with an issue that has to do with our president and his leadership. Always give your best. Never be petty. Never be discouraged. Always remember, others may hate you, but those who hate you don't win unless you hit them and then you destroy yourself. This is a very important quotation which can guide a nation. Always give your best. Never be petty. There are some issues that are petty. We should not focus on the petty issues. And never be discouraged. Things may not be the way you want them to be. Never be discouraged. And then always remember, others may hate you, but those who hate you don't win unless you hit them and then you destroy yourself. Yes, it's for the Lord. Revenge is just going to escalate things. We condemn in strongest terms attacks on a president by throwing stones or doing all kinds of things. We condemn that. Because the head of state holds the life of the entire nation in his hands. He also has people who love him. And I want you to know, no matter how bad a president can be, there are some people who are ready to die for him. So therefore, we should respect leadership, whether political, spiritual, whatever, the chiefdoms, we must respect them all because the leader is the key to the success or failure of a nation. So if we are displeased, there are channels that we can use. And we as leaders, we must be careful. I remember one of the bishops told us when we were young preachers, he said, be careful in whose hands you place power, because power corrupts and corrupts absolutely. So I am appealing to the nation, to the leadership, that we as a people, we should remember that hunger put in or take out anybody. When people are hungry, they need food. One Catholic priest I remember said, what matters luto shilwagwali. My advice is that is the solution. Put in shima on the table and it shall be well. So God bless you and keep you. Do not ever slander the dead who cannot answer back. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Bishop, and thank you for the opportunity you gave us, and thank you for your contribution and the guidance you've given to the country. God bless you.
Thank you.
The ministers and other government officials present here, the Oasis Forum delegation, I just want to say thank you to everyone around here. Mr. President, I will start by thanking you for extending this invitation to the Oasis Forum. I think that just demonstrated good leadership. I know from where we are coming from, it was the issue of our minister just opposite to me responds to us in the newspapers. We also go to the newspapers. It was a media fight. And when it is a media fight, everyone wants to win. We wanted to win, they wanted to win, so it wasn't a good thing. And we are happy that you invited us to come here. We are grateful for that invitation. But allow me, Mr. President, to be very, very candid on the reason why we are here. We wanted to be here for a celebration and not what we are here for. The people of Zambia, I'm very sure, would have loved us to come here to bring thanks and gratitude for your delivery on the promises that we as people of Zambia expected. But we are here to discuss the amendment of the Constitution, which is supposed to be a very straightforward issue. Much as we are saying that the amendment of the Constitution brings issues, but I think if process and content is followed from the word go, I don't think any of the citizens of Zambia would have reason to raise questions, especially us as women, because there were issues, or there are issues in the Bill 7 that pertain to inclusion in the Constitution, in the amendment. But for us to come back to you and sit in this manner, or go to the media, go to the public and speak in the manner that we are speaking, Mr. President, there is something that is not adding up, and we thought we could just have it corrected before we can proceed. There is something that needs to be corrected. Process of the Constitution amendment must be a process of the Constitution amendment, and that is what has worried us. There are a number of issues, Mr. President, maybe that we could have wanted to be discussing here, especially that if you talk about the previous regime or successive governments, there are a number of issues that you and us went together into the dungeons. And if there were people that were in the dungeons deeper than all of us, I think it's you, because you experienced everything. Hence, the reason why you are here. We wanted to vote for a president who has experienced, who has cried with us, who has known what the people of Zambia wants, so that when you are here, you will remember that that time we were here, this is what we wanted, let me give to them. This time we were here, this is what we wanted, let me give it to them. So we were actually happy to see you here, because we were very sure that most of the things that we cried for, because we were crying together, were going to be very straightforward, and not a situation where we come and sit and plead, or we come and sit and cry, or we even intend to go to the streets. I will not say a lot of things here, Mr. President, but I will indicate that we are here to discuss the Constitution amendment, and we have expectations. Our expectations, Mr. President, are that one, we expect that Bill 7 is completely withdrawn from the floor of the House. And two, we expect a fresh process supported by legal safeguards to be commenced. And thirdly, we expect that such new process be inclusive and not rushed, and it should be holistic. And when we talk about it being holistic, Mr. President, like I said earlier, we don't expect you not to know that what is important mainly here in Zambia is to open up the Bill of Rights, because that is where me and the next person are sitting. I think we will appreciate if we go by that process. I thank you.
Malaiti na lelo kulibe fertilizer famasa kwanisa bati uzati kwenyu sembe tenze tinazibati. This is what you meant. Kaleza sembe sitina vote. Talemana boaba, talemana boza. Basi eni baende tuone kovina. Wenye wapaka sweet toka isha. Tifuna mariza utinoti mastori. Abamvula ya kwa manje mulimi sana fole fertilizer yodulatiza gula bonji apati enda kuma elections muzani pasa excuse bwanji ndabachi onekani napanga mistake talemana boaba talemana boza basi eni baende tione kovina wenye wapaka sweet toka isha tifuna mariza
inokuya pamarket mwe vantu ndefwako fertilizer ya 750 ayo kwali va fertilizer ya 750 njive vice president jevarandire venga vepati ayo kanshinyavo kashite ku parliament
malaiti na lelo kuli kwenyu ndemwe chabe mabanja onanjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Kani zanu ndizopanda pindu anakulira miseu mwatu tikufuna chilengedwe chatsopano osati mapoke tanu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies. You can't silence the truth. It's time for the youth. Time is up when you is not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up when you is not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children, for a better forever. When you kunata pano, we take the rain. Tikonza jiko.
We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate. Speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV.